Hello everyone and welcome to Cat as a Spirit Guide. If you're interested in Cat as a personal totem, there's a separate video on this channel for that. And if you're not sure how to tell whether Cat is your totem or your spirit guide, or if it even is, either one, there's also a video for that as well. Before we get started, I also want to make a note that this is a video about domestic cat. Feral cat actually means something different, and there'll be a short video about that sometime in the near future. In the meantime, domestic cat would be a house cat, a shelter kitty that you're adopting, or even a feral cat that is very comfortable with you and just naturally comes into your home. Feral cat as a spirit guide would be an animal that just never really is going to feel at home with you, that is very unpredictable, very wild. So if that's what's showing up for you, you'll get information from these videos, but you'll also want to check out feral cat specifically. So, cat is a spirit guide. Now, cats have a long association, as you probably know, with magic and mysticism and mystery. And so when cat shows up, it is entirely likely that things are going to get very interesting for you. You may have a lot of really magical experiences. You may start to have very precognitive, very detailed dreams. If you have the abilities of a medium within you, this is when they would show themselves, as cats have ties to the way we can speak with our deceased ancestors. And so you may find yourself receiving messages from your personal dead, or the dead of other people, which can be very interesting for you. You may also just notice that your intuition is on, and everything that you feel you should do, you're just led to it, and it's perfect. In the same way, this heightened ability to access our intuition, cat is an incredibly powerful guide towards self-confidence and self-sufficiency, because when we know we can trust our intuition to lead us where we want to be, then we don't feel like we need to depend on other people. So when cat shows up, one of the first things it's telling you is that you're going to have to start listening to yourself with regard to creating your own security, whether that's physical security or emotional security. So, you know, some totems show up to tell us that we need to take a break and it's time to accept help. Cat is not one of those. Cat says, okay, you got enough help, go do it yourself. So if you have not been sure how to take care of yourself financially, now is the time to start learning how to do that, exploring the options that would make you feel fulfilled and allow you to stand on your own 2 feet without ever worrying about somebody dropping you and leaving you high and dry. As far as emotions go, there are a lot of us who base our opinion of ourselves on how somebody else feels. So somebody tells us that we are not attractive, and we decide we are not attractive and we try to change. Somebody tells us we don't work hard enough, we're not a good enough son or daughter or worker, whatever. Cat does not allow anybody to tell it is not fabulous. If you think back to Egyptian history, in which cats were deities, they were demigods, and they were so important, in fact, that when they lived in the pharaoh's household, they were given these jeweled collars to wear and allowed to eat from the pharaoh's plate. And when they passed on and went to kitty heaven, they were given these very elaborate burials. They were mummified, and they were also sent to kitty heaven, accompanied by their favorite toys and rats and mice and milk and things to keep them entertained on the way there. So cats are a pretty big deal. They're royalty. And when they show up, you are to learn that it is time to treat yourself like royalty. Nobody has the power to make you change your opinion of yourself. Nobody should define your opinion of yourself. You are unique, and you are special, and you are wonderful, and you are absolutely perfect the way that you are. Any changes that you would like to make, you make because you want to make them, not because somebody else is making you feel like you should be making them. We are perfect at all times. I should clarify that. At all times, we are perfect just the way we are. And if we make a change, we are also perfect at that time. That is the wisdom that cat teaches. Now, cats also, kind of in the same vein, will show up to teach you that it is time to defend yourself. If you get into a cat's territory and it is not happy about it, then you get scratched with a pawful of razor-sharp claws. If you've ever watched My Cat from Hell with Jackson Galaxy, which I love that show, You see, he bleeds a lot. It's painful. When a cat is not happy with you, he lets you know. You are never going to be able to get a cat to do something that the cat does not want to do. They don't usually call when you, or come when you call them, unless you live in my house with my cat whisperer husband, but that's another story. They will not like or want the same things from day to day. Where they're sitting is where they want to sit, and not because you have put them there. Nothing can force the cat to stay there. In the same way, when cat shows up for you, it's asking you to look at where you may be doing things that other people want you to do and you don't want to do them, where you may be allowing somebody to dictate your experience or what is appropriate for you. There's a great quote about, in a cat's eyes, all things belong to cat. In this case, in your eyes, all things belong to you, and if you want something, you deserve it. Now, how you go about getting that, of course, may be good for you or bad for you, and that's up to you. But the fact is, if you want something, cat is saying, okay, there's a reason you want it. You can have that. Go get it. Now, lastly, none of us would ever call a cat a workaholic. Our cats specialize in several things: sleeping, eating, sleeping, bathing, eating, playing, sleeping, eating, playing, bathing, sleeping. You get the picture. I don't think any of us would consider those things to be too weighty or troublesome. Cat knows how to take a break, and it also knows that self-care is the most important thing we can do for ourselves. So many of us get caught up in this rat race, and I'm just as guilty as the next person, where we have things to do and we're responsible people, and so we just keep doing the things that need to be done and doing the things that need to be done and doing the things that need to be done, and we never take a break for ourselves. And the fact is, guys, things are always going to need to be done. There's always going to be stuff to do, and nobody is going to tell us that it is time for us to take a break. We have to give ourselves that permission. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do, but that does not mean that we cannot take some time to have some fun or to relax, to recharge. We are not meant to spend our whole lives just doing things. And if we keep doing that, our whole lives will be gone, and we'll suddenly go, my gosh, why didn't we take care of ourselves? Why didn't we do anything fun? So when cat shows up, it's asking you to look at where you may have become a bit of a workaholic, where you're putting aside your self-care. It sounds selfish, but we really do have to care for ourselves first before we can sufficiently care for others. You guys all know the difference between doing something out of love for someone else and doing something because we have to. If you want to get back to the place of doing stuff out of love, you gotta love you first. Cat also speaks to the ailment insomnia. If you've been suffering insomnia and Cat shows up, then Cat is saying, okay, it's time to look at why. What's going on with you? How come you've got the insomnia? And what can you do to cure it? Now, I work with people on a regular basis who have insomnia, most of whom no longer do. So there are people like me out there. There are other options you can try. You can put some lavender on the pillow, whatever. But Cat's saying, okay, the time for the insomnia needs to stop. Naps are good for us. Now, if you are at this point and you're still kind of confused, you have some questions about Cat as a spirit guide, please feel free to contact me directly. Again, there are also videos on Cat as a totem, and there will be a video about Cat as a feral cat spirit guide. If it is not up there already, when you watch this, take a look for it or keep your eye out. And you all know where to find me. You can get me at my website, which is www.ravenlightholistichealing.com, or you can visit me on Facebook at Ravenlight Holistic Healing. I also have a blog. You can call me, you can email me, whatever you need. Have a wonderful day, my darlings.